In a big city, where skyscrapers touched the clouds and the streets sparkled with lights, there lived a girl named Amelia. She was 20 years old, and her life was far from a fairy tale. She worked in a small cafe for pennies, barely making ends meet. Her dorm room was more like a closet, and her dreams of a better life seemed unrealistic. But one day, fate brought her together with Jimmy, a young, successful, and incredibly rich guy. He was also 20, but unlike Amelia, he already ran a family business and knew the value of money. Their meeting was accidental. Amelia dropped a tray of coffee right on his expensive suit. She expected screams, anger, but instead saw a smile. "Don't worry, it's just a suit," he said, handing her a napkin. From that moment on, their lives intertwined. Jimmy did not look like a typical rich man. He didn't boast about his money. He didn't look down on her. And what surprised Amelia the most? He worked. Not just signing papers, but toiling from morning till night. His father had built an empire from scratch, and Jimmy knew that if he relaxed, everything would collapse. He started coming to the cafe every day. At first, just for coffee, then to talk. Amelia wondered, what could he find so interesting in her? A simple waitress. But Jimmy sincerely laughed at her jokes, listened to stories about her dreams, and once asked, "Why don't you study? You have a bright head." "No money." Amelia sighed. The next day, he brought her brochures of universities and said, "Choose, I'll pay." She couldn't believe it. It was too good to be true. Amelia hesitated. On the one hand, there was a chance for a new life. On the other, there was a fear of being obligated. But Jimmy didn't let her feel like a debtor. "Consider it an investment in talent," he said. Soon she enrolled in the evening department, continuing to work. Jimmy helped her with her studies, sometimes sitting up until the night with her over notes. Their relationship became closer and closer, but Amelia caught herself thinking, "He is from another world." This became especially clear when he invited her to a private party in the penthouse. She came in her best dress, but still looked like a gray mouse among the brilliant guests. "You are not like them," Jimmy suddenly said, as if reading her thoughts. "Is that a compliment?" "Yes, you are. Real," said Jimmy. But it was there that she first saw Mia, Jimmy's childhood friend, the daughter of his business partner. The girl with cold eyes immediately began to whisper, "Darling, do you know that he is just playing at charity?" Mia's words stuck in Amelia's head like a splinter. She tried not to pay attention, but doubts gnawed at her from the inside. Jimmy noticed her strange detachment, but attributed it to fatigue. He worked even harder. A new project required his full dedication. "Sorry, I can't help with school today." He said this for the third night in a row. Amelia nodded, but inside she was angry. He was just tired, she convinced herself. But one day, staying late after class, she saw his car at an elite club, and through the window, Amelia at a table with Mia. They were laughing. She touched his hand. Amelia ran away, not making out the road. The next day, Jimmy came with apologies. It was just a working dinner. "With her?" Amelia whispered. "Her father is our investor. I have to—" She wanted to believe, but her faith was already cracked. After that evening, Amelia began to distance herself. Jimmy, immersed in his work, did not notice it at first, and when he noticed, it was too late. For her birthday, he gave her an expensive watch, but forgot that she loved books, not brands. She smiled, hiding her disappointment. At university, she met Oliver, a classmate from an ordinary family. He made her laugh with stupid jokes, brought her coffee before exams, and once confessed, You are too sad because of that guy. You deserve more. Amelia waved it off, but something sank in her soul. Meanwhile, Jimmy finally completed the project. He rushed to Amelia with a bouquet and tickets to Paris. Let's make up for lost time. But she could no longer look him in the eye. I can't. Why? She did not answer. Jimmy did not understand what was happening. He called, wrote, but Amelia answered dryly and rarely. In despair, he came to her house and found her with Oliver. They were laughing at the entrance, and when Oliver gently straightened a strand of her hair, Jimmy's heart sank with pain. So that's what it was? His voice trembled. Amelia shuddered when she saw him. Jimmy, you didn't even try to talk. She lowered her eyes. You were always busy, and he was here. Jimmy turned around abruptly and left. This time, forever. 5 years passed. Amelia married Oliver, gave birth to a daughter, and worked as an accountant in a small company. Sometimes she remembered Jimmy and wondered, what if she had tried to explain? Jimmy never married. His business grew into an international corporation, but the penthouse seemed empty to him. One day at a business meeting he saw Mia. Now she was his competitor's wife. It's a pity you didn't choose me then. She grinned. I already made one mistake, he answered coldly. Somewhere in the city, children were playing, and Jimmy suddenly imagined that his child could be among them.